Good afternoon. Welcome to TNC Radio.live. This is the Truckers Network Radio Show. And now here's your host, Shelley Johnson.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. This is the Truckers Network Radio Show on TNC Radio.live, where we offer the news, weather, traffic, information, and entertainment our drivers want and need. North America's biggest truck show is coming at the end of March in Louisville, and drivers just love the Mid-America Trucking Show. There's so much to see and do. In addition to great entertainment, vendor booths, and things to learn, drivers can also visit some very important trucking nonprofits. St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund will be there this year and also has a very special fundraising event going on. We've got some great information on that. St. Christopher is a 501c3 that helps truck drivers and their families when an illness or injury takes them off the road. With us today is Shannon Currier. She's Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher, to talk about what they're going to be doing at MATS this year, along with other activities they've got. Welcome, Shannon. It's great to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me back, Shelley. I always love talking with you and sharing our information with your audience. I always appreciate the opportunity to spread some awareness and hopefully spread some joy and some fun things.
Oh, absolutely. And we love having you on the show. So I imagine you've been pretty busy. Are you ready for MATS?
Well, I'm trying to be ready for MATS. I ended up going to a new conference just a few days ago that was not normally planned, but came up because of one of our board members. So I took off down to Orlando to a conference called Snackspo and spent a couple of days down there and just got back on Tuesday. So I have been playing catch up this week after being gone for 2 or 3 days and getting ready for MATS. So we have the plan, we are working the plan, and we are hoping everything's going to come together. And like we were talking about before the show, if it doesn't, we'll move to plan B and keep moving ahead.
That's right. That's pretty much where those shows tend to go. Just have to be able to pivot, as they say.
Yes, so, there are a lot of moving pieces to these kind of shows.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Before we talk about what's going to be going on at MATS and what other activities you folks are doing this year, for those not familiar, I thought maybe you could give our listeners a brief overview of what St. Christopher does.
Absolutely. So you mentioned we are a 501c3. We are a non-faith-based charity. And I always clarify that because of our name being St. Christopher Fund. A lot of people ask if we are faith-based, and we are not. Our founders are Catholic, but it's not a religious organization. But it has been known in the trucking industry for years and years and years that St. Christopher is the patron saint of travel. So that is where our name came from. But we are not a faith-based organization. And what we do is when a Class A CDL holder, over-the-road or regional driver, has an injury or an illness that takes them off the road, a lot of times they can't pay their necessity household expenses. So they can apply for assistance with us, and we can step in short term. This is just for, a month or two to give a safety net for these drivers, because when we originally started, we found that drivers were losing their homes. They were losing their livelihood because of these short-term injury and illness situations. And so our goal was to be a safety net for these drivers to make sure those type of things don't happen. So we can step in and pay necessity household expenses for these drivers. And the way it works is we have an online application that people complete, or we can mail you one if you need to as well, or fax it. But we're going to verify employment. We're going to check to make sure that, your income is less than your outgo. That way we make sure that there is a financial need there. We're going to request medical records so we can verify there's a medical issue keeping you off the road. And we do that because we get audited every year to make sure that we are within our guidelines of helping drivers. And then we have the people that are approved, they submit their bills to us and we pay the bill holders directly. So we don't give any money directly to the drivers. And what we pay for, it's very narrow what we pay for, but we try to pick up the most expensive items that people have in their, budget. So we're going to cover rent or mortgage, whichever they have, vehicle payments, utility bills, and insurance payments. So those are the four areas that we can make payments on, and hopefully that frees up what little money somebody have coming in, that they can pay the other expenses that they have. So that is on our financial support side of what we do. And then we also have a health and wellness side where we want to see healthier drivers out there. So we see a lot of applications over the years that have come in, and there's a lot of the same health issues that drivers are facing. So we have implemented programs that are free for drivers. We do vaccine vouchers. We do a smoking cessation program. We have a diabetes prevention program. And this month we're kicking off free prostate cancer screenings. So we're hoping to, meet some of these drivers where they are health-wise and start making some preventative changes so maybe they don't face some of these health issues further down the road.
What your organization's doing is so extraordinary. You've helped so many drivers and their families. Have you seen a bigger need in recent years, especially after the pandemic and, oh gosh, the crazy stuff going on with the economy and everything?
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting because when the pandemic hit, we kind of started to panic because we thought, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Everything's shutting down. But, pretty much everything shut down except trucking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So that first year where we thought we would see delayed or, diminished donations, we didn't actually see that for the first year. What we're seeing now is we're coming into, this third year after, and I think that's where we're seeing the industry kind of start to take some of a hit. So our donations have been less coming into 2023 than they have been the last 2 years. So we're more concerned this year than we have been actually in the previous years because everyone has been so generous. And I think realized the importance of the trucking industry and looked for a place to give back. And now I think it's kind of catching up, with the economy the way it is and rates the way they are and just things in the industry. We're seeing companies close doors. I think now people are starting to hang on to that money a little more. So we still have very generous donors. We have maintained our donors. But along with the awareness of our organization, there's two sides to that coin. More awareness obviously needs more donations. So they go hand in hand. So we are looking at increased applications and a need for increased donations in 2023.
So it's very important for people to step up and say, hey, we want to help. Because what you do for drivers, I mean, you're a godsend. You really are.
Absolutely. And it's what we're able to do, but the only reason we're able to do it is because people are so generous with their money. I always say we're really just the facilitator of your funds because you entrust the money to us and you trust us to do what we say we're going to do with your money. That's one of the reasons why we pay bills the way we do and why we're so transparent about the money we have coming in and going out. So we facilitate that money and make sure the drivers that need it get it. And, a lot of times people think, oh, well, I don't have a lot of money. I can't give a big donation. And you don't have to. It's every single dollar makes a difference. And we do a lot of we call them high five campaigns. So, sign up to donate $5 a month. And when you get 20 people donating $5 a month, that's significant money coming in. So when everybody comes together doing a little bit, it makes a huge difference.
It really does. Every little bit helps. And I'm sure that people will do what they can. But I know that your organization is well loved and well respected for everything you're doing. What year were you founded?
So we were founded in 2007 and we helped our first driver in 2008.
Okay.
So we're celebrating 15 years this year.
That's excellent. Wow. Okay. And you could kind of maybe do a little celebration at Matt's. I know that we want to talk about what you're going to be doing at Matt's because that's what everybody's thinking about right now. But we do need to go to commercial break. So why don't we do that first, and then we can find out what exactly you guys have planned for Matt's as well as the rest of the year. We're talking with Shannon Courier. She's the Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for more coming up.
This blog on TNC Radio is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. The 5 best truck stops in America. Truck drivers spend days, sometimes weeks, out on the road. Sometimes taking a break at a nice truck stop's a great way to relax and take your mind off driving. There are many truck stops across the United States, but we listed the 5 best truck stops that every trucker needs to stop and experience. Little America, Wyoming. The Little America Truck Stop is located in Little America, Wyoming. It's a mini chain truck stop with several locations throughout the country for truckers to enjoy. Little America offers a wide variety of services to truck drivers. Some of the services include service truck roadside repair, tire repair, new tires, wheel seals, oil changes, water pumps, brakes, courtesy property shuttle, AC repairs, belts, DOT inspections, and trailer tarp installation. Iowa 80, Walcott, Iowa. Iowa 80 is a place where truckers want to stop. It's the world's largest truck stop, and it's filled with tons of activities and tourist attractions. Truck drivers could stop and enjoy a nice meal, watch a movie, or stop by the trucking museum. Iowa 80 also has a full range of truck services and amenities. Some of the services and amenities include cat scale, chiropractor, convenience store, interstate dental, dog-a-mat, fuel center, laundry facility, library, travel service center, truck-a-mat, and a workout room. South of the border, Hammer, South Carolina. Pedro's Truck Stop, also known as Porky's, located in Hammer, South Carolina, is a world-famous roadside attraction for tourists and truck drivers. Pedro's filled with many different activities, unique foods and shopping. It also offers truck drivers supplies, showers, a trucker's lounge, and 24/7 fresh hot coffee. Trails Travel Center, Albert Lee, Minnesota. Trails Travel Center is everything a truck driver needs and amazing food. Some of the Trails Travel Center's food options are a tavern, Cold Stone Creamery, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and McDonald's. Truckers can also stop and shop heavy-duty truck parts or chrome parts. Trails Travel Center also has a truck service that offers drivers wash services, tire services, wheel alignments, and suspension repair. Jubit's, Portland, Oregon. Jubit's is a family-owned truck stop and boasts of being the world's classiest truck stop. They were also recently named the second best rest stop in America. Drivers can enjoy a 24-hour full-service Cascade Grill restaurant, a 100-room hotel, movie theater, barber shop, and more. Jubit's also has a truck service center and is committed to providing truck drivers the best tires, truck maintenance, and truck repair. Some of their services include engine diagnostics, oil change, DOT inspection, glass replacement, metal fabrication, welding, tires, tire service, and airbags. Plus, brake service, truck trailer alignment, shock absorbers, air conditioning maintenance, electrical diagnostics, battery service, suspension repair, electronic logging devices, lubricant service, APU installation and service. This info blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. TNCradio.live, your commercial driver navigation station.
We're all about the news, information, entertainment, talk radio, music, comedy, and topics truckers want to hear. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with retired NASA engineer Homer Hickam, who's the author of Rocket Boys, which inspired the movie October Sky. We're talking with Alex Debogorski. He's one of the original stars of Ice Road Truckers. Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller, music icon and Grammy Award-winning country artist Lee Greenwood. We're speaking with racing legend Mario Andretti. Michael Martin Murphey is a legend on the music scene with wonderful ballads and hits like Wildfire and Cowboy Logic. Curtis Grimes.
Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 winner.
Our guest this afternoon is Tom Bodett. You know the name, you know the voice.
The Carolina Monkey Gouger, Jimmy Artis. Today we have the honor of speaking again with Long Haul Paul. Today we have Claire Dunn and Logan Mize with us. Stay tuned and stay safe with TNCradio.live. Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Shannon Courier, the Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. Shannon, in our previous segment, you gave our listeners a really great overview of what St. Christopher does. You guys are going to be at Matt's, which we mentioned in our previous segment. Where will you be, and what is your organization going to be doing this year?
Yes, so we have a lot going on at Matt's. We will be in the North Wing lobby. So if you're coming in the front entrance, the main front entrance of the convention center, where all of the glass doors and windows are, out in the actual lobby where the registration desks and everything are, our booth is out there. It's 40648, I believe. I might have just said that wrong. I don't have that right in front of me, but I think it's 40648. But you will see us if you come to that main lobby. We will have our end booth there where we normally are. We'll have, of course, our signage up and our tablecloth, and we're going to have a prize wheel on our table. We've done this for many years. Every show that we go to is a fundraiser. We are looking to raise donations to continue our mission for the year, and we will have our prize wheel. So people donate $1 to spin the prize wheel, and you win whatever prize that you land on. And we have great prizes this year. We have some prizes coming from OOIDA. We have some prizes coming from Road Pro Family Brands. We have prizes come from Brinny Transportation. We have prizes coming from Connexial. And then we have some of our own St. Christopher prizes that will be on there too. So lots of good things will be on the prize wheel. You don't want to miss that. We will also have a couple of items that we will auction off in the booth. One of our people that we love so much. He's a driver. He goes by Drill Sergeant Don. He's always looking to raise money for St. Christopher Fund. So he's going to be encouraging people to take that change that rattles around in your pocket and throw it in the bucket for St. Christopher Fund. And he's also got a couple of items that he's bringing. One is a little black stone grill that is actually small enough for the truck, and he'll be auctioning that off. And then on Thursday night, that is opening night, the show will run until 6 o'clock. And immediately at 6 o'clock, there is an opening night reception celebration out in that North Wing lobby. And Matt's is putting that on. They'll have some snacks. I think they're going to have some free beer. They'll have some games to play. And then we're going to have some items out there for a silent auction. This will be our second year doing that. It was pretty successful last year. It was our first year. And Toby wanted to do that again in collaboration with us this year. So we are working on that. We've probably got 50 items or so that have been donated by exhibitors that are attending the show. There's going to be some great things to bid on. It will start at 6 o'clock. It will go to about 7:15. And then the winners, will be announced right then. You will get to pay for your item and take it with you right then. If it's an item that you need to be connected to the company to, we will do that right then so you can pick up your product. But there's so many great things. We've got polishing products. We've got, lubricants and things that for make your fuel run better. We've got a mattress that has been donated. We've got gift cards. We've got mud flaps. We've got coolers. We've got chairs. We've got jackets. We've got all kinds of things all of these are useful things that drivers would use every day. So I hope as the show ends at 6, you'll stop by and join us and hang out with us until 7:15 or 7:30 or so and bid on a few items. All of the money comes to St. Christopher Fund and will, of course, then be used to support drivers needing assistance out there. So there's a lot going on. It's going to be busy, but that's the way we like it. We like our booth busy.
Oh, it's exciting. And I bet you have a lot of fun every year when you're there.
Oh my gosh, we do. One, we don't sit down. I'm going to definitely I've been on trying to get more steps in every day, and I'm not going to have a problem getting them in while we are at Matt's. But we love being able to see people face to face because, we're a small organization and nobody really comes to our office because nothing that we do has that need for drivers to come to our office. Everything is done online. So we love going to the shows and being able to shake hands and give hugs and put names and faces together. We have a lot of beneficiaries that come to the show that we've talked to and never met. We have previous beneficiaries that come and see us. We have donors that, people that have been making a donation monthly or sometimes even for years that we've never met in person that come just to say hello. And gosh, we'll take pictures and we'll have meals together and we'll laugh and we'll have a good time. It's one of the things that I look forward to every year.
That's so much fun. And I think that the drivers also love the fact that you have done so much for the trucking community and you're so transparent. Not all organizations are. You guys are. I mean, everybody knows exactly what you're doing and they really, really support what you're doing too.
We do, and we're so thankful for that. And it's important to us to have the trust of the drivers and of companies in the industry. And that's why we share as much information as we do. That's why we give our numbers out. We share our information with all of our corporate sponsors. That's why we want people to know what we're doing. We want people to feel a level of trust that we're doing what we say we're going to do. And I think that's one of the reasons we've been blessed with such generous donors and why we have the board members that we have. I mean, I'm so proud to have the board members that we have. Our board members are not paid at all. They don't get any bonus. They get nothing other than just, being able to say they're on our board. And I think that's why we have the board members that we do, because there is a trust there. And there's also an accountability. We have some prominent names in the industry, and we are accountable to those people to how we use our money and where it goes. And those people are, of course, accountable to the rest of the industry along with us.
That's huge for donors to know that. And people can be assured that the money's going to the cause for the people, rather than maybe, going to having to pay a bunch of salaries and that sort of thing. So I think drivers can really appreciate that as well.
Right. And we do get asked that a lot, that's a big concern with larger organizations is
Sure.
How much money do you have coming in and how is that money used? What percentage is actually used for what you say it's used for? And we are minimum 75% of our money is used directly for driver support. So,
That's excellent.
and we don't let it get below 75. And that's just important to us to keep it above that number because that's, and we have a lot of people say, why don't you have swag? Why don't you have shirts? Why don't you have, and we do have an online store where people can purchase some shirts and sweatshirts. But the reason we don't have those things is because we just feel like it's important for that money to be available for drivers,
Sure.
not necessarily, to have us decked out in swag. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to at Matt's this year?
Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to what's going to feel like probably a family reunion. There's so many people that are coming and that you only see once a year. And so it's exciting and you get to catch up. And a lot of these folks you build relationships with and friendships with. It's not just a work relationship. And so I love being able to spend, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, catching up, what's going on in your life? How's your wife? How's your husband? How are your kids? And just getting to spend some time visiting with people. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. We've got a lot going on. We've got interviews. We've got the wheel. We've got health and wellness things going on. We've got the auction. But all the fun stuff happens all in between that when we get to walk around and talk to people and give hugs and just say, hey, how are you doing?
Sure. Well, trucking's a big, happy family, really. It's like any other kind of family. Not everybody always gets along, but for the most part, yes, they do. And It's just fun to be able to reconnect.
It is, and it is like a family. And you're right, not everybody loves St. Christopher Fund. I'm sure we have our people that are detractors, and we're not going to make everybody happy. But the thing about this industry is we all come together when we need to come together. And so there's always a level of respect. And, I want anybody who, if there's any questions or concerns or, thoughts about what we do or don't do or why we do it or don't do it, let's just talk about it. Let's answer those questions. And sometimes the answers are not what we want to hear. We wish we could help every single person out there in every single situation. Unfortunately, that's not possible, but we help as many as we can in the situations that we can help with. And that's important to us. We really just want to make sure we're helping the drivers that need it the most.
Absolutely. And when you think about it, if it weren't for drivers, our economy would stop rolling. They really are frontline workers and always have been.
Absolutely. I agree with that 110%. And when so many of us, I think people forget, it's like anything else. When you get used to seeing it or hearing it or being around it, you start to take it for granted. It's almost like a marriage, that person you've been married to, like me for 26 going on 27 years. Sometimes you take that person for granted because they'll always be there. And I feel like that's what we've done with drivers. And then when the pandemic hit, it was really an eye-opening experience of who we depend on,
Sure.
And why we depend on them. But they've been there the whole time. We've just forgotten about them. We've gotten complacent on realizing the importance of this industry. And that's part of the discussion as well in the industry as a whole, is just reminding people, hey, nothing's changed. These men and women are still out here doing what they did before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic. And they deserve just as much respect and appreciation today as they did, 3 years ago.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. We have to go to break here, Shannon. I want to learn more about what you folks are doing this year. You got some exciting announcements about some events you've got, and definitely our listeners want to know about that too. We're talking with Shannon Currier. She's the Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for more coming up.
This info blog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Everything truck drivers need to know about sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is an issue that affects 1 out of 3 truck drivers. Truck drivers who drive tired may be unaware of how much their lack of sleep affects their driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration attributes 2.2% of all driving accident fatalities to drowsy driving. Well, there's not a law in place that requires truck drivers to get testing for sleep apnea. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, stay with us to learn more about sleep apnea and how it can affect truck drivers. What is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is a potentially serious sleep disorder that causes you to have pauses in your breathing or take shallow breaths during sleep. It's an extremely common issue that affects millions of people in the United States. If you snore loudly during the night or still feel tired after a full night's rest, you might have sleep apnea. According to the Mayo Clinic, the main types of sleep apnea are obstructive sleep apnea, the more common form that occurs when throat muscles relax; central sleep apnea, which occurs when your brain doesn't send proper signals to the muscles that control breathing; complex sleep apnea syndrome, also known as treatment-emergent central sleep apnea, occurs when someone has both obstructive sleep apnea and central sleep apnea. Symptoms of sleep apnea. According to the Sleep Foundation, all 3 types of sleep apnea share certain common symptoms: disrupting breathing, in which a person's respiration can become labored or even stop for up to a minute at a time; excessive daytime sleepiness; morning headaches; irritability; limited attention span, or difficulty thinking clearly. Many of these symptoms arise because of poor sleep and decreased oxygen levels that occur as a result of interrupted breathing. Some additional symptoms are connected to obstructive sleep apnea. Snoring, including snoring that's especially loud, it involves gasping, choking, or snorting that may cause a person to briefly wake up. Morning sore throat or dry mouth. Frequent need to wake up to urinate. Causes and treatment options for sleep apnea. Sleep apnea occurs when the airway becomes blocked while sleeping. Here are some common causes of an increase in airway blockage. Being overweight, sedative medication, alcohol, family history of sleep apnea, smoking cigarettes, sleeping on your back, nasal congestion. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, reach out to your doctor to get a treatment plan going. Avoiding treating your sleep apnea can result in losing the ability to operate a commercial motor vehicle. Most often, treatment plans will require you to have a CPAP machine in your truck. The CPAP machine helps pump oxygen to you while you sleep. In addition to using the CPAP machine, your doctor may recommend exercising, losing weight, or using different oral appliances that help hold open your airways. As a truck driver, it's crucial to take care of yourself because trucking is such a difficult and demanding job. At times, it can be challenging to take care of your health. Sleep apnea is a real issue in the trucking industry. We encourage all drivers to be aware of the symptoms and to get help if they suspect they have sleep apnea. This info blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network on app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Hey, what's up? This is Logan Mize, and you are listening to TNCRadio.live.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly, and we're talking with Shannon Courier. She's the Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. Shannon's been talking about what's going to be going on at Matt's. I understand, Shannon, you've got some other really cool things going on. One I think is already happening. It's a fundraiser with Shell Rotella and Cal Ripken.
Yes, so Shell Rotella has been a longtime sponsor of St. Christopher Fund, and they wanted to really increase their support this year and increase the conversation, make it a continuous conversation, not just a one-off event each year, which I love this. I love building on things throughout the course of the year and letting people know there really is a relationship with our corporate sponsors. And so I was excited. This is, the first of the events that will be happening and promotions that will be happening with Shell Rotella. And what they did, they wanted to do something different. So they got a Louisville Slugger bat. It is the real deal. And they have their logo on it, and they have the St. Christopher logo on it. And it has been autographed by Cal Ripken Jr. So that autograph has been authenticated, so it is real. And they gifted that to us, and we are auctioning that bat off. So that auction is live currently on our website. So if you go to truckersfund.org, you can, right there on the sliders on the main page, the second slider is where you can place your bid. There is a button there that says bid now, and you can place your bid. The bidding will be open through April 5th until 11:59, which is noon. And then we will announce the winner after that. And this bat is very cool. It is in a glass case, a contained case that is wall mountable, and it will be shipped to the winner like that. But they are also going to have the bat at Matt's at their booth, at the Shell Rotella booth. So you can look at it and put your eyes on it and see it for yourself. And I just know that there is a baseball lover out there, or somebody has, a child who is a baseball lover out there, that this is going to be the perfect gift for. And your winning bid will give back. It will make a difference in somebody's life. It will make a difference in the life of a driver that is needing assistance. So we are excited about it. We just opened it yesterday. I think the bidding as of this afternoon was up to $175. So pop over. We're sharing it on social media, of course, as well. There will be information about it at Matt's. Go take a look at the bat at the Shell Rotella booth, but hop over to our website, truckersfund.org, click the bid button, and make your bid today.
And we have a link to that page too, don't we, Tom?
Absolutely. If you're listening to us on TNC Radio right now, you can just go to our front page and we will link you right to it. So if you're not able to write it down right now or don't remember, just go to our front page and find it there.
So no
So, Tom,
excuses.
No excuses
right.
whatsoever.
So, Tom, how cool is a bat signed by Cal Ripken Jr.? I mean, you're the baseball fan here, so.
Well, minimally online, they're going to go, a bat like that's going to go for at least $600 or $700.
Mm-hmm.
So in this kind of case where it's all protected and all set up right and for charity and all that, I'm expecting this to go for a couple of thousand.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yep. That's what it should be going for.
Well, and you have a lot of baseball memorabilia, don't you?
I have a lot of baseball memorabilia. More than my wife is comfortable with.
So this sort of thing gets you salivating, then.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm still banned from buying that right now, but I'll find out.
Honey, can I participate, please?
Right. Well, this may be one of those easier to apologize than to seek permission first. Although she's probably listening, and that may not be the right thing to say either. But it's. Hey,
I say that about Southern women. We all know how to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. So
There you go. There you go. Well, I think it's appropriate that this is running right in tandem with Matt's, and it's a Louisville Slugger, and Matt's is in Louisville.
That's right. That's right.
I thought it was a pretty creative fundraiser.
Oh, I think so too.
Oh, very much. Very much.
But quick question here, Tom. You know a lot about baseball. What is the history of the Louisville Slugger?
It's a bat that was originally created in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I thought that there was a big history.
I'm sure there is. And I always had Louisville Sluggers when I was growing up.
Uh-huh.
So I've always been a big fan of the wooden bat, and it's just different cities get known for different things, and Louisville has been the home of the best bats forever.
Okay. That's something
Louisville
I did not
Slugger
know.
bat was created in 1884 by a 17-year-old kid named Bud Hillerich. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And legend has it, he created it for Pete Browning, who was the star of the Louisville Eclipse. And Browning had been in a batting slump and broken his bat, and Bud handcrafted him a bat. Next day, Browning broke his slump with 3 hits with the very first Louisville Slugger.
Wow. Okay. So it's a good luck bat, too. Very cool.
Sounds like it.
Of course, when you have something that's autographed by Cal Ripken Jr., you're probably not going to get out and play with the bat, but you certainly can. You have some bragging rights and you can display it and feel good about it because you're helping a great nonprofit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And hey, Babe Ruth used a 1927 Louisville Slugger, 21 home runs with that. So
okay.
There's definitely a history there, and it's a good bat. Yes, probably not one you're going to want to play with. I mean, you can if you want to. It will be yours if you are the top winner. If you want to play with it, you are welcome to play with it.
Absolutely.
But you can take it to the game. If you go to a game, get some more signatures on it if you're a baseball lover.
No.
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 Okay. That's not what we do. Okay.
No, Cal's signature by itself on a bat like that, it's awesome right now, and in the years to come will become absolutely priceless.
Okay. All right. From the baseball expert, I will take that expertise right there.
So can people also participate when they get to Matt's? Can they put their name in the hat for that?
No, I don't think they're going to have a bidding place there at Matt's, but
Okay.
everything is online. So if you get
Okay.
there and you see it, just pop your phone open, go to truckersfund.org and click bid right there. If you need any help doing that, come by our booth. We'll be happy to help you do that. I'll have my phone or computer and we'll be happy to help you make a bid on it.
Excellent. Well, I know we have to go to break here. You've got another fundraiser. It's your annual concert. Tom, should we go to break now or should we?
No, that's good. Yep, we'll do that now. And
Okay.
also we'll ask Shannon about her show on tncradio.live too.
That's right. Terrific. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. We're talking with Shannon Courier. She's the Director of Philanthropy and Development for St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. Stay tuned for more. There's more great information on what's going on with St. Christopher. Stay tuned.
This infoblog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. ISS score for truck drivers explained and how to find it. An inspection selection system score is called ISS score, was created by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, to help law enforcement officers determine if the truck should be inspected. The inspection selection system score is frequently used to determine if your truck will receive a bypass command or not. There is often confusion between the ISS score and the CSA score. While there's a correlation between the two, they're not the same thing. The CSA score identifies high-risk motor carriers. The score is based on the performance data of the driver. The ISS score uses a combination of different CSA categories known as Behavior Analysis and Safety Improvement Category. That's basics for short, to determine the carrier's overall inspection rating from 0 to 100. Similar to the CSA score, the lower, the better. What determines your ISS inspection value? Unsafe driving, hours of service, HOS, driver fitness, controlled substances and alcohol, vehicle maintenance and cargo, hazardous material. There are 3 different ISS ratings categories: inspect, optional, or pass. Inspect, 75 to 100. Optional, 50 to 74. Pass, 1 to 49. ISS scores can determine how often you'll get inspected. Although some roadside inspections are at random times, most will be as a result of a higher ISS score. How to find ISS score. The FMCSA has an online portal where carriers can log in to check their ISS scores. You'll log in using your DOT-issued PIN. From there, you'll see the company information section on the main screen. Next, click the blue button labeled Inspection Selection System Info. This info blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, is boosting the image of the industry by telling the story of trucking, and your story can be part of it. Upload a photo. Tell us what you love about trucking, or send us a story about a good deed or charitable act in trucking. Be sure to follow us on social media and contact us through truckingmovesamerica.com. That's truckingmovesamerica.com. Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly, and we're talking with Shannon Courier. She's the Director of Philanthropy at St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. Shannon, I understand later on, still in the spring, in April, you've got a Highway to Hope benefit concert. Now, that's pretty cool.
We do. So this is our second concert. We were hoping to make this an annual event, but we did not get to do one last year. But year before last, we did a virtual benefit concert. This was in the middle of COVID, and we tried to do something that was different and unique and that was fun. And, music always brings people together. And so we decided to do a virtual Highway to Hope. That was a virtual concert with Winona Judd. We had John Schneider on with us, and Billy Dean, Lindsay Lawler, and Heath Sanders. It was a fantastic event. We raised about a little over $75,000 with that event, which is a huge fundraiser for us. And we were so excited about that. So we wanted to continue every year, but we had to take a year off. but we're back this year. And now that COVID is over, we are able to do something in person. And so we were trying to decide, what do we do? Where do we do it? What artists are available? But, when we did our first one, a lot of the artists were at home because nobody was touring, and now everybody's back on tour. So how do we make a second one happen? And so our home office is actually in Knoxville, Tennessee, and there is a great venue there called the Cotton Eye Joe. It is a dance club, country western, that's well known. It's been nominated for lots of awards, and they love truck drivers. Inside the venue, their DJ booth is actually a semi truck.
Oh, how
So
cool.
it's very cool. And I went there. We used to go there a lot when I lived in Knoxville. We would go and dance on the weekends and stuff. And so we reached out to the owner there and said, hey, this is what we would like to do. Would you be interested in working with us on this? And he absolutely said yes from the get-go. And so what we're doing is on April 22nd, that is a Saturday, we are having a benefit concert with proceeds coming to St. Christopher Fund. And the Cotton Eye Joe has been so generous that all of the ticket sales come to us. They aren't keeping the money. All of the venue is provided free of charge. The staff is provided free of charge. So we're so excited to be able to offer this. And we're going to have a couple of things going on. There's going to be a VIP event from 4:30 to 6 on that Saturday. And there are tickets available for that. They are $99. But let me tell you that you get a lot with that. We're gonna feed you. We're gonna give you some drinks, if you drink. If not, we've got water and Coke and sweet tea as well. But we're gonna make sure you're fed. We're gonna have an artist meet and greet. We're gonna have a VIP private concert with Lindsay Lawler, and we're also going to do a special 15th anniversary celebration and honor our founder, Dr. John McGilligan. So you will get to be a part of all of that. We'll have some board members there. Of course, our staff will be there. We're going to have, Lindsay and her team will be there. And our headliner for that evening is Levi Hummon. If you have not looked him up, it's Hummon. He is viral on TikTok, just huge. He's got new songs out. He's got a song with Walker Hayes. He's got a song with Cassidy Pope. So if you are a music lover, go check him out. He is a great country music artist. He's a younger gentleman, but he grew up in Nashville. His dad is a Grammy Award-winning songwriter, and we're honored to have him. And it is a benefit concert. So like I said, all the money is going to be donated to St. Christopher Fund, but it's a celebration event, and it's different than anything that anybody has going on anywhere. And we hope to make this an annual event. We hope to grow it into something more show-like. But we've got to have, obviously, people come. We want people to support it. We want people to come and hang out with us. There is parking there on site. He's got enough truck parking for probably 40, 50 trucks. And there's also a TA that is right down the street that's actually in walking distance. So we have the parking covered for folks as well. We're right there off 40. You cannot miss it if you're coming into Knoxville. It's right there on 40. So you don't even have to get off and drive very far. And we're going to take care of you while you're there. So it's going to be a fun event. We hope people will come and enjoy it and spend some time with us in a more intimate setting, than the larger shows. Mm-hmm. And we'll just get to continue to build some relationships and fellowship with people.
And that's Saturday, April 22nd at
yes.
Cotton Eye Joe in Knoxville. Excellent. That sounds like it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We would love to have you all come join us. We're going to have some picture taking opportunities. We're going to have some line dancing opportunities. We are just going to have some fun. It's going to be a night to have some fun, to celebrate, relax together, and just really enjoy the industry together and recognize drivers and just hope that's been provided through this organization for drivers for the last 15 years. We want to continue on for another 15.
Well, I know what you've done is extraordinary. So definitely people want you to stick around. Great organization. What is your website again, just in case people aren't familiar?
Yes, it's truckers with an S, truckersfund.org.
Okay, terrific. Oh, and Shannon, I wanted to mention you have a show with us here on TNCradio.live. It's really, really cool.
I do. I am so thankful for this opportunity. I saw a post from Tom about people interested in doing a show to reach out to him, and I called him and I said, I'm not saying I'm interested. I want to know how it works. I'm curious because I had thought about doing something on my own, just separate from St. Christopher Fund, something creative and fun for me. And I've been thinking about it for 2 years. I had my notebook and my notes and, all the things written down, ideas. And so we had a conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he said, "So when do you want to start?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know." I don't know, but I'm so thankful for the opportunity. So I thought about it for, I don't know, what, a week or two, maybe, Tom. And I messaged back and said, I think I would like to give it a try if you're willing to give me a shot. I've never really done something like this before. I mean, I do the podcast for St. Christopher Fund, but it's different when you have to come up with your own people and your own topics and that kind of thing. But I named it the Southern Route. And of course, that's because I'm from the South. I live in Alabama and I love to talk about Southern things and Southern people and Southern music and Southern food. But we do detour out of the South every so often too and talk to other people. Um, and some of it is trucking industry related. This last 2 weeks, I had interviewed Candy Bass, if anybody knows who she is, trucking legend,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
celebrating 50 years of driving in the industry this year. Had a 2-part interview with her. That was trucking related, but Candy's also my friend and my glitter grandma. Um, but we also do fun things. I was recently had 1818 Farms on there, which is located here in Alabama. Awesome farm with natural products and beautiful flowers and a place people would want to visit. So it varies from week to week what the topic might be. And every now and then when I can't uh, get my schedule lined up with a guest, you just get to hear me talk for an hour. And luckily, everybody's been very gracious in giving me the time to learn and figure it out and grow. And I'm just proud to be a part of the TNC radio family.
And we're so blessed to have you. I thoroughly enjoy your show. And you're a great storyteller.
Oh gosh, thank you. That means a lot coming from you, Shelley.
Well, thank you. And I know that drivers like good stories. And they also like to learn about, good places to travel. Even though they do it for a living, they still want to, hey, let me check this out. Maybe I'll just reroute my load here and go check out whatever Shannon's talking about.
Well, I think that's the hope is that there'll be something interesting out there that anybody, a driver or anybody would say, "Hey, I've never been there and let me change my route and make a stop there." Or, "Hey, I'm going through there. I think I'll make a stop at that location." And I'm always open for ideas. So if you're out there listening and you have a cool idea for a show or someplace you'd like me to cover, let me know. I've got a few things. I've got a mac and cheese themed restaurant I'm going to
Ooh,
cover.
yum.
So I don't know. There's so many cool things out there in the world.
Well, I know you've made me hungry a few times when I've listened to the show.
Even if you do like Duke's better than Miracle Whip. Yeah.
Duke's is way better. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying the driver up north in Oklahoma who had never had Duke's, he has switched over. Thank you. He knows what's good.
Yeah.
That's something I am not aware of. I need to try it.
Duke's mayonnaise. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, it's the best.
Good to know. So real quick, where do people find you at Matt's? You're in the what wing again, or the hallway?
Yes, so we are in the North Wing lobby, not in the showroom, but outside in the lobby where registration is in the big open area. We are out there. I think it's 40648 is our booth number. So grab a book and find us when you get there. Stop by and spin the wheel. We'll have the wheel, we'll have the silent auction, the Show Rotella bat will be there at the Show Rotella booth. We'll be sharing information about the Highway to Hope concert. We'll have flyers for that. We're going to
Excellent.
cover everything while we are there. Please stop by and say hello, take some pictures, shake some hands, and let's have a laugh together. And can't wait to see everybody in person.
Thank you, Shannon. Really appreciate all of this information. You've been listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for more great programs, information, and entertainment coming up. Thank you for listening to another great interview on tncradio.live and the Truckers Network radio show. All of the material you hear on tncradio.live on our website, our broadcasts, or our podcasts are copyrighted. There can be no distribution without the express consent of tncradio.live and its partners. For inquiries, write us at info@tncradio.live. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast of the Truckers Network radio show.